Channel. I am Michelle and I love Elvis movies, so here's the movies in order with the year of release, and please come back for more videos. Starting with Love Me Tender. This was by 20th Century Fox and it was in 1956. Loving You was from Paramount and it was in 1957. Here we have Jailhouse Rock. This was by MGM and it was in 1957. Here we have King Creole and this was by Paramount and it was in 1958. And the last one before the army days. Then coming out of the army, it's GI Blues and this was by Paramount again and it was in 1960. Then we move on to Flaming Star by 20th Century Fox and this was in 1960 also. We then have Wild in the Country by 20th Century Fox and this was released in 1961. Blue Hawaii by Paramount in 1961 also. We then move on to Follow That Dream. This was by United Artists and this was released in 1962. Kid Galahad was also released in 1962 and again it was by United Artists. We then have Girls, Girls, Girls. This was by Paramount and was released in 1962 again. So 3 that year. And then we have It Happened at the World's Fair. This was released in 1963 by MGM. We then move into Fun in Acapulco and this was released by Paramount in 1963. We then have Kissin' Cousins and this was by MGM and this was released in 1964. Again in 1964 was Viva Las Vegas and this again was by MGM. We then move on to Roustabout and this was by Paramount and it was released in 1964. So the third one of the year. Girl Happy was released by MGM and that was released in 1965. Then we have Tickle Me. This was by Allied Artists in 1965 and that actually saved Allied Artists. And then we're on to Harum Scarum. This was by MGM and this was in 1965 also. Then we have Frankie and Johnny. This was by United Artists and it was released in 1966. And then we have Paradise Hawaiian Style by Paramount in 1966. And we're going to move on to Spin Out by MGM in 1966. It's then going to be Easy Come, Easy Go, and this was by Paramount, and it was in 1967. Double Trouble by MGM, again in 1967. It's then on to Clam Bake, and that was by United Artists in 1967. Quickly moving on to Stay Away Joe by MGM in 1968. Then we move on to Speedway by MGM and this was in 1968 again. Then we have Live a Little, Love a Little by MGM in 1968. Charo is up next and this was by National General in 1969. Again, in 1969 was The Trouble with Girls by MGM. And we're moving lastly into the last film, and that was Change of Habit by Universal in 1969. So that's the last of it. That's 31 movies in order. Thank you.